This is the behind the scenes of the work that I do.
Going to prison almost makes me feel empty, and it's not a feeling I like, because then if I'm empty, it means that something will fill me up. So I'm grateful for daily verses that I go through in the mornings because they give me strength. I know that my mom has been praying for me regarding this show. Every time when I get a message from my father telling me how hard the show is, I look at the work that I have been doing on the show behind the scenes and literally tap myself in the shoulder. I am being told that I'm bold, I'm brave. I know that some people cannot do what I'm doing right now.
I was hired in this show as a researcher stroke production coordinator. One of my roles was to visit prisons, SA prisons, in search of offenders that would like to ask for forgiveness from victims and those that have enrolled in restorative justice programs. I visited a suburban prison.
It is situated within a suburb, a middle-class suburb.
Prisons have a set of rules for visitation. The South African visitation process has 10 rules. 1. Arrival. 2. Registration. 3. Visitor tag. 4. Body search. 5. Waiting area. Upon your arrival, you must produce your identification. I have been so used to some prisons not being strict about needing your ID, so I took it no proof of your identity necessary in our prisons, until I visited another facility that demanded proof of identity. Without it, simply no entry. I had no form of ID on this particular day. Thankfully, they called the head of security and they knew about my visit, so they gave me access to the prison.
So we were taken on a tour in this prison as crew, and we visited all the mediums or all the units. What was fascinating, this was my highlight, by the way. Let me tell you, anybody is capable of committing crime, and knowing that crime can be intentional and unintentional.
If you are visiting an offender, you register their case number. I didn't know that. The least I'd know is their name, not their case numbers. Obviously, no knives, no firearms. Your valuables must be left behind. Prison security is compromised in some justice system facilities. I know now that not all prisons have visitor tags. I've been to one where it was 1 tag per 2 people. I remember getting shocked when a female official led me to a private cubicle to search my body. I was shocked at the privacy I was given because I've been searched in the open before. A few taps around the best area, over the shoulders, a soft brush down the waist, searching for hard objects in and outer thighs. That would be the search procedure in some prisons. Does it say searched? I was hardly searched in prison. You then wait for the officials to escort you where you need to go. Number 6, briefing. 7, visit. 8, end visit. 9, waiting area. 10, main gate. I'd say with regards to briefing, it often seemed that the briefing I was given was as a result of me asking questions about each step, not as a procedure of protocol from the official's part. For the sake of my research, briefing always started sooner than my prison visit. There were so many matters to consider before: the crew that's coming after me, the filming equipment that we were going to bring to the prison, the prison areas we'd like to film from, and basically all logistics and technicalities involved.
So we take a tour, right? We are walking around the prison facility inside and out. And at this point, we are being escorted to the kitchen area, but we have to walk around the block because everyone was just in a courtyard, and we were accompanied by at least 2 security guards. The crew number was 6, if I remember well. And just for our safety, they thought, let's walk around the block and enter the kitchen from a backside. So we did. When we enter the kitchen, there is kitchen staff. There is an official that is responsible for the stock taking. There was a board, a whiteboard, that is written all kinds of people in prisons eat according to their religion, according to their diet, according to their preferences, and maybe according to their cultures. I saw Buddhists, ZCCs, Muslims. I saw Rastafarians. These are the names that were written on the board. Rastafarians. There were Shembes. Oh my. There were Shembes. I would imagine that Christianity is a majority, so it wasn't really labeled. But there were those. And there were foreign kind of religion that was there, associated with Japanese, Korean, Chinese. They have to watch the nutrients that they take per day. They are allocated of how much, for instance, proteins they should have per day according to their religion. They are mindful that some religions don't take hot food over the weekend, so they have to make time for them to occupy the kitchen on a Friday, for instance, and make their meals so that they eat them cold and ready the next day. They are also mindful of the fact that some religions, such as Buddhists, Muslims, and ZCCs, I think, they fast on certain days. So when they fast, what they will do is all that group of people, they will be taken into a common cell or cells so that they eat alone and pray or fast alone as a group without interruptions. So to know that their diet is being watched carefully like that is amazing. Big bulks of everything. I saw the size of mealie meal that I've never seen before. Because they buy in such bulks, we were told that the food gets spoiled sometimes, or they would buy something that has an expiry date that is closed unaware, and they have to make sure that it's taken out of the kitchen because they should. They have people like Rastaman, Ayaja Rastafari, who has use. Rastafarian men, they take expired mealie meal and mix it with fish. As let's say the fish would not be enough for the whole prison. So they will take that fish, mix it with mealie meal, put spices in them, breadcrumbs and everything, and make awesome fish cakes for the whole prison. How awesome is that? There was that prison. There were all sorts of metals that you can think of that a man can use to lift. And men in prison are scary. There are those that look at you to intimidate you. There are those that look at you very innocent and you wonder what is behind that smile or that innocence, because they are captured beyond these hard bars. And then there are those that look old and weary, and you wonder what brought them in here. Because we've been dealing with prisons that have lifers, you then remember that, oh, he or she must have been, she must have been sentenced years ago. There are those that you feel like you've seen before, the faces that have scared you in a corridor. So most of the time when I look at some of these faces, I wonder what their crimes could possibly be. I think of serial rapists, for instance, and think to myself, I wonder if he's looking at the females that are in this team and imagining how it would feel like to offend fresh meat, pretty much. Mutilated and hello. Okay, I was just greeted by, and a prisoner just waved at me. He killed an official. Yeah, so you see all sorts of faces, and you cannot help but think, what could they have done? What did they do? Why are they here? How long are they here for? What has their life become for being here? Literally, in some areas, you have a distance of 100 steps to walk. And it's all males. I mean,
the crime rate in our country is bad. In 2016/17, the police recorded a total of 19,016 murders, up to 18,673 murders in 2015/16. The murder rate increased marginally from 34 to 34.1 per 100,000 people. The Eastern Cape province had the highest murder rate at 55.9 per 100,000 people. In 2016/17, an average of 52.1 people were murdered every day. Murder rates in South Africa's provinces. The murder rate refers to the number of people that were murdered per 100,000 people in the province. It allows for an accurate assessment of risk because the different population sizes are taken into account. The rates are as follows: Eastern Cape 55.9, Western Cape 51.7, KwaZulu-Natal at 36.6, National 34.1, Free State 33.3, Gauteng 29.3, Northern Cape 28.6, Northwest 23.7, and Mpumalanga at 21.8.
Now that I know that most people that are in here have offended innocent people, have stolen from innocent people, have killed children, mothers, old citizens, people from grassroots level right to white collars. No one deserves to die brutally. That is my opinion. Some people justify killing, or some people justify certain kinds of deaths. I do not fall in either of those groups. I value and appreciate life, and I believe that we are here on earth to have some pleasure. I do not see pleasure in killing. I do not see pleasure in killing. I do not see any pleasure in killing. And to think that you can just pass by either a male or a female that looks as innocent as you, not knowing what they've done. This is what I feel when I'm inside the prison, that I could have met any of these guys I've been talking to. Any of them I could have met, I could have joked, I could have been friendly, I could have been kind. And I would have done this without knowing that they are criminals.
Thanks for watching Motive, and join me next time for more behind the scenes.
I do not think I've ever felt
about